Hi there. I'm about to join the SS Shieldhall, which is the biggest steamship still sailing in Europe. She's got triple expansion engines and I'm just dying to have a look at those. I love steam engines and these are going to be really special. The ship's remarkable. She's run entirely by volunteers and she's really a credit to the British nation. Here she is, sailing down Southampton water. The first thing we're going to do is join the guys on the bridge and see what goes on when a vessel like this is getting herself off the dock. Hands are ready on the telegraphs, sending us to the engine room. It's all very old-fashioned, lovely, good 19th century stuff.
Right, okay, we'll get rid of the head and stern lines then, Martin, and then we'll do the springs.
Thank you, John.
All clear off. Starboard engine, dead slow ahead, please.
Starboard engine, dead slow ahead.
And stop port, please.
Stop port.
Stop port.
Okay, good.
We're clear of the dock now and we're coming out astern with the engines running nicely. Shortly we'll be starting to swing round to starboard and going out ahead.
Okay, we'll go down to half ahead on the port, please.
Midships the wheels.
Port. Midships the wheels, thank you. Yeah.
Dead slow ahead, starboard, half ahead port.
Thank you very much.
Once it is on board, we will call you back.
As the bridge rings full ahead, we can go down into the engine room and see the repeater down there also asking for full ahead and listen to the wonderful song of the steam engines as they beat out the time. The triple expansion engine has 3 cylinders. The first cylinder takes high pressure steam straight from the boiler, it exhausts it into the second and then into the third, whence it goes back to the boiler for heating up again. Steam is provided by oil-fired Scotch boilers. The ship's never been powered by coal because she post-dates all that. But the guys who run the boiler room down here, I think they've got a real sense of humour. One of them's going to show us the fire in a minute. Here he comes. He'll open the door and we can look in and see the mighty flames burning, which are supplying the real power for this great ship. But the steam on a ship like Shieldhall does more than just drive her forward. It carries out all sorts of ancillary functions. And we're going to start off by looking at the steering.
No, it's okay. For me, it's okay. Wheel hard at starboard, James.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes it helps.
Which is what catches it. The quadrant's keyed onto the rudder stock and the actual power is supplied by these little engines, beautiful little engines, working the gears. And of course, no ship should be without a proper steam windlass. It's running out real slow. Just waiting for the weight of the ship falling back to drag it out. Well, we're anchored. Time to go back to the bridge and have a yarn with the skipper. Martin, you're a mariner of some distinction, if I may say so. You're not only a master mariner, you're a Southampton pilot, or you certainly have been, and the harbour master indeed himself. And now you're obviously a big wheel in Shieldhall.
Yes, yeah. Well, I found myself on retirement. People seem to fill your time, so I'm now chairman of the Shieldhall charity, and one of the masters. So yeah.
Well, that's
busy.
great. So you're the man to tell us all about it. Tell us something about the history of the vessel.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a very old-fashioned ship. So got steam reciprocating engines, which in this day and age is very unusual for ships to have those. Ship was built back in, or came into service in 1955, carrying a very salubrious cargo of treated sewage, apparently, down the River Clyde to dump it from as part of the Glasgow Corporation. And then in about 1977 it came to Southampton to do exactly the same thing. And then by the late 70s, early 80s, she was becoming a bit old. So Southern Water dispensed with its services, and then it was basically for £20,000 bought by a bunch of trustees and became a steam packet company. And it's been run by volunteers ever since. We now have over 100 volunteers. We don't have any paid staff at all. Everyone's a volunteer. And during the winter months they spend long hours on those dark, cold winter days, you know, cleaning, painting, chipping and all those sorts of things to keep the ship in the condition it is. And for its age, it's in very good condition.
She looks remarkable to me,
yes.
I must say, and there's lots of little touches, you know, that suggest people love her.
There is, yes, yeah. The crew are all very proud of her, and you know, they sort of treat it as their own ship, really. I think the Shieldhall volunteers, it's a bit like a family-run affair. And also the good thing for us is that about a third now are ladies, which is really good, and we encourage those. So we've got quite a few on the bridge, a few in the engine room, and then in the customer experience team. So yeah, we're very proud of them all.
Yeah, I think you are. And what do you do with the ship?
So the ship, our aim on the ship is to keep it running in steam until 2055, when it will be 100 years old. But otherwise, during the winter months, we hold events on board. We do a bit of education. We bring schools on board, and we teach them about England's maritime heritage and what ships do, because there's quite a bit of sea blindness in this country. People don't realise that 95% of the goods still come in by sea, and it's still the most efficient way to ship goods. You know, when you think how many you can put on an aeroplane compared to a ship. So we talk about that. We then, during the summer months, we do cruises out into the Solent. We go to Cowes, Poole, out to the Nab Tower, which was the original dumping ground for the cargo. So that's our summer months. And also we have we've held wedding receptions on board. We've done charters for people. We were the official start ship for the Ocean Globe race, which was, and luckily we could keep up with the yachts when we went down the Western Solent, which was. But I mean, the bit I quite like is school children. And I was talking about compasses, and we talked for 1 hour just on compasses and all the different norths that we have. You know,
really?
Yes, like compass north. You know, grid north. Then there's a magnetic north, then there's true north, and how we get them all and what they all do, and you know, how we've got a compass basically in a metal box, so it's not going to point to north unless we make it. So we talk about, you know, what these magnets are and all the magnets inside and what we do with them.
You need a real ship, don't you, to do these things?
You do,
It's all
yes,
very well talking about in a classroom, putting it on the blackboard or showing them a video, but to actually be here and smell it and see what it's like.
Absolutely, yeah. But we have got a modern gyro compass, and these are the repeaters here, because this is what feeds our radar. And so yeah,
of course.
So down in the corner there is a gyro compass, and that's what feeds the radar and the electronic chart plotter. But we still got a lot of original equipment on board. Like some of this radio equipment is still original. Light switches are all still original. Original navigation light switch panel is original. Compass and the steering.
Magnificent. It's magnificent, actually.
Yes.
And so nice to see everything polished up.
Well, yes. If you went on the Titanic, you would actually see something this is what you would have seen, because this is basically what she had.
Well,
Yeah.
we had a very interesting trip down to the steering flat.
Yes,
And
yeah.
saw the steam engine working down there,
But, yeah.
how it all works. And
Yes.
this is the hydraulics that drive it.
This to drive it, yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And we got the old-fashioned telegraphs where you have to give them a good swing because
Yeah.
they're just basically just a signalling system. And you know, if you want extra revs astern, you give it a double ring. You know.
Yeah.
In fact, when the ship was built in 1955, it was old for its age, with the equipment that was on board, and that's because it was designed back in the sort of 20s, 30s,
Yes.
and then of course the war came along. So it wasn't completed until it was, they started building it in 1954, launched in 1955, and came into service that year.
70 years later.
Yep.
Doing a great job. Thanks very
Yes,
much, mate.
yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah,
Thank you.
Come again. And anyone else, look at our website and book a voyage.
There you go. That's what you've got to do.